Alright, so today I'm going to be assembling this A5. Didn't bother doing a disassembly video. Most dudes can get them apart, they just can't get them back together. You're going to need some precision bits, size number 1. These are some very fine slotted screws. And a lot of people booger them up by using the wrong screwdrivers. You need some punches as well. Start with our mag tube. Now for this little guy, place the split end in first. Just give it a little tap until it's flush. There we go. That might not fall out. Alright. Now, for our bolt, this is what gets a lot of people. You need your cross pin that holds in your bolt stop here. And there we go. Now, we've got our bolt in, got our charging handle in. Our pin can only come in and come out one way. So when you take it out, you'll punch it through here once you line it up with this recess right here. Alright. Got to kind of have 3 hands to do it like this. Spring is going to rest there, and the pin goes through the center section. Okay. Now this can only go in one way. You can see it's got kind of a spline on one side, and the other side is a little tapered. Center spring right there. Alright, now when you go to put it in, it's tapered side out. You should feel it slide nice and easy through there without binding at all. Push on this. Give it a little pressure through there. You'll eventually feel it slip through. There we go. Now, I'm gonna make sure work your bolt a little bit before you move on to your next part, because if it is hanging out, it will snag. And you'll have cycling issues, if not scarring up the inside of your receiver. Alright, now for the spring and follower. I had to cut him a cross pin because he was missing it. The only reason it didn't fly out whenever I took it apart was because it was so dirty. Okay. Easiest way to do this, get out of there. Is to put them in together. And put in this side first. So it'll capture both of them. And just line them up like that. You do have to be careful, because when you're lining these up, if it's not lined up properly, it won't go in the socket, and what it'll do is bend your lifter. Now for our other side. Okay. All right. Now for our trigger mech. Now this part gets a lot of people. All right, so when we're putting in this trigger mech, your spring for your lifter is going to long leg going up, and there's a particular way you're going to want to do it. You got your thicker pin or your thicker screw for the rear, and your thinner one for the front, but you're going to slide it in well in front of where you need it to go, and you're going to put your rear pin in first. Okay, now we put our front one in. Pull your charging handle back until it clears. And then your front can go in. Now if you... Later. See you Monday. There we go. Okay, and our security screw is going to be set back just a little bit so it won't be fully tightened. That security screw is what's going to hold it in place. Now, once you slide your trigger mech rearward, if it drops down, it's going to undo everything you just did. So you have to hold that tension up there. Alright, now we just need to throw in our trigger screws in our stock, and we'll be finished. And you're going to have to align all this stuff when you do it. Earlier I was calling them security screws. What I meant to say is they're lock screws, and these aren't pins. Those are obviously your trigger retaining screws. But it's worth noting that whenever you put in your two-piece lifter here, if your retaining pins for that lifter are crisscrossed, you're going to notice it whenever you go to put in your lock screws, because you're gonna have to, you know, it's just not, you're gonna have to back it out like, you know, half a turn or something in order to get a security screw in there. So just be mindful of that. It's worth, once you put in your lifter screws, that you just make sure that they line up well, so that your lock screws are going to coincide with the cutout in the side of the screw. But let's go ahead and put in our lock screws. Take your time on this, as you start screwing in your lock screws, if you're just ever so slightly off on whatever retaining screw that you're going to be putting your lock screws with, if it's ever so slightly off, you'll end up scratching, marring, potentially messing up the threads if you try to tighten it if it doesn't want to go. There we are. Alright, let's go ahead and put on this stock. Sometimes these things can fit a little tight. So what I typically do is persuade it on with a leather mallet. And you never want to force your buttstock screw. There we go. Slipped right in there. Like I say, it's not uncommon for these things to be super, super tight. Another half rotation. Oh, one more half turn. Okay. Yep, there we go. So just make sure that your slot is parallel, so it picks up that cutout for your lock screw. There we go. There we go, like a glove. All right, now I'm gonna do a brief breakdown on your heavy loads, how you set up your recoil spring for heavy loads and light loads. For this one, we're just gonna go to light loads as a default because I don't know what this gun is being used for, and I'll just explain that to the customer when they pick it up. Okay, now to set this thing up for light and heavy loads. Your light load is going to be this friction piece with the flat up against your receiver. Your spring would go on, And then your main friction piece. That's how you would set it up for light loads. For heavy 2 3/4, spring will go in first, then your collar. Your flat surface will go up against the spring, and your friction piece goes here. You slide your barrel on. But this is the configuration for heavy 2 3/4 loads and steel shot. But like I said, we're going to set it up for light loads to begin with. I'm going to explain that to the customer, and if they don't know how to set it up like that, or you know, they have a habit of forgetting, I've got a printout that I give them. That way they can keep that printout next to the gun in case they forget. Cool. Plug. And you're going to want to push that barrel down whenever you put on your magazine cap. Functions test. Safe works. Good to go. I've included a diagram from Browning on how to adjust your friction rings for different load types.